Okay, welcome everyone to our cohort 15 demo day. Now actually live streaming from Japan. We got a great group of audience here, but also a live stream to Silicon Valley. We have around 80 or so investors that are joining via the live stream, on Saturday evening there and Sunday morning here in Japan. So just really quickly, I want to give a huge shout out to our demo day sponsors and Inception Studio sponsors. Without them, this couldn't have happened. Tokyo Fudosan and who helped with the give us the venue, and Yamaha Motors, Delight Ventures, Skyax, Alt, and Fujitsu Accelerator, and as well as Kroll, who's one of our annual sponsors. So again, we are a nonprofit, an NPO, so we rely on our sponsors to be able to run these type of events. So so we couldn't do this without them. So just moving on, so for those of you who have never heard of Inception Studio before, the genesis of this is that we realize that these traditional accelerator programs are not the best fit for the most talented builders. These are people like serial entrepreneurs, exited founders, highly experienced engineers, or specialists with deep domain expertise. And these type of founders, of this caliber, they have different standards. They're looking for something very high quality. They are looking for something early stage, and ideas and co-founders, of a similar caliber at the early stage. They don't want to waste time on a low value add program, and they thrive in those most high pressure, intense environments. And so that's what we built. We built a new model, and this is really intended for the very top tier, the most experienced builders, right? And we've built an amazing community now of 183 founders now have been through this program. We've run this 15 times so far. It's all built around these very intense 72-hour in-person retreats. So we just finished one right now. In fact, just this morning, everybody, all of the founders here, we got up before the sunrise, in Gotemba. If you guys know where Gotemba is, it's right by Mount Fuji, and it's a beautiful place. But we stayed there for 3 days, and we just all, in fact, got back. I think many of the founders you're going to hear from tonight, maybe this morning they stayed up pretty late, some until 3 or 4 a.m., working on this, up at 6 a.m., get on the bus and then come back to here to Sakura Stage, right? And we aim to have a really world-class talent here. In this cohort, you'll see we have 4 teams from the US and then 4 teams from Japan. And so it's a good mix. It was a great opportunity to mix it up. We are really oriented towards finding the absolute best world-class talent, we help companies develop their ideas and then help them to fundraise and get their pitch, right? And so many of these pitches you're going to see today, they were developed and redeveloped over the last 72 hours, right? In a very short period of time. Right. In fact, many of the pitches, many times founders came in with a pitch, and on the first day, on Thursday, we completely tore it all apart, and they've rebuilt their entire pitch and in fact, maybe have pivoted their company and their strategy just over this last weekend. Right. So the things we're seeing here are still very new. But this is the point. We want to find people who can operate the best under pressure. Right, and so this is a high pressure situation. They have 72 hours to build their company strategy and pitch, and then deliver it in front of all of you, and then everyone online as well. Right, and so that's a very important part of this. We could not do this without having all of you guys being the audience. Right, you are the forcing function. Shimekiri, it's very important, for this to actually force everyone to work really hard and focus and actually get something done. And I think you'll be very impressed with the output of what we have so far. So it's kind of like a hackathon, and kind of like a founder matchmaking, and also like a early stage startup workshop. And everything we do is very intentional. We intentionally go to somewhere far away, like Gotemba, where it's completely different surroundings. There's a beautiful space, kind of in the woods, and with Fujisan, like Mount Fuji, like right in front of you. It's like we have to take a 90-minute bus ride to get there. It's all part of the journey to help you remove your distractions and then enter that type of flow state that like will allow you to be maximally productive. Right? We got a very diverse group of people. We're a strong believer in the best teams are the most diverse teams, and so in this case we have founders from Japan. We have founders actually from Estonia and from France and from the US as well. So a great dynamic group of people that we have put together, right? Because of the format, it allows it to do very rapid iteration. The culture, this isn't a competition. We're not, it's not like there's going to be one winner of Inception. The point is, anybody who is able to develop their pitch and then deliver it, we want them all to be successful, right? And so it's very much more of a collaborative environment versus a competitive one. And we intentionally make these high pressure scenarios to stress test relationships and form deeper bonds, right? We've done this now. This is the 15th time we've done this. We've helped forge some, introduce co-founders to one another and help, forge those co-founding relationships. We've also successfully broken up some founding teams as well, right? Because it's of course it's much better to know earlier if it's not going to work out. Right. And and then beyond those retreats, we also provide long-term value to the Inception founder community. We have, continue to support those founders. We have a very vibrant online community that we're a very active generative AI founders, right? And a great network of advisors. We do in-person events, many of them in person in the Bay Area around Silicon Valley, although now we are starting to do events worldwide as well. Yeah, and so just about the team. So I'm John Whalen. I've been in Silicon Valley now for 25 years. I've started 3 companies. Had two of them have acquired. The third one was started about a year ago. And I teach generative AI at Stanford University. It's one of the hottest classes called CS224G about building applications using large language models. Co-founder of Inception, Mike Morris, as well. Also 25 years in the Bay Area. On engineering, building engineering teams, right? And we've worked together for, I guess, the last 7-8 years now together. And so, but it's not just us. We have a great team behind us as well. So Manisha, who's joining online, Sophie as well. And then at this we had our retreat advisors. So Andrew Radin, Steve Barsh, who you'll see around here as well, Asaf, SG, and Tiffany. These are all key to making this work because when we go to that retreat, we actually have, it's not just the founders there, we have world-class advisors there who are helping them with business strategy, with preparing their deck, with presentations, everything, even technical, all aspects of building a startup. And so we're all there like living together in the house together, and so it's a great environment. Right, and then our Inception Japan team as well, led by Arisa, Arisa, you can come up on stage as well. Do you want to do? Why don't you come up on stage and you can do like a shokai of yourself and like maybe the Japan team quickly.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm Arisa Makihara. Okay.
Yeah. There's make sure everybody can see you online as well.
Okay. I'm Arisa Makihara, and I'm working venture capital in Japan at Anobaka, and I am a leader of the Inception Studio Japan. And let me introduce our member, Natsuki-san. Natsuki-san is... Oh, Natsuki-san. Okay. And Sae. He is engineer of the Mercari, and Natsuki-san is a member of the G Startup, and she is organized the G Startup for 5 years. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and so the genesis of this is that Arisa and I met last year at IDS, and then talked about like doing something like setting up Inception in Japan. And then, so she spearheaded this whole thing. It happened because she had pushed everything forward, found our sponsors, developed those relationships. So she was really the key person to make this all happen, right? Yeah, and then so we actually, like I mentioned, we literally just came from Gotemba. These are actual photos from the location that we were all staying at, right? So like really, it was like an amazing view. Like we discovered that like even at Mount Fuji at different parts of the day, it looks really different, right?
Yes.
You have like in the morning you have the Aka Fuji, and
Yes.
yeah,
Very
it's really, but it's great, both in terms of removing the distractions, but also just being kind of an inspirational place to to do your best work. So that's what we're going for, right? Yeah, and then just around Inception Studio. So like I mentioned, this is the 15th time that we have done one of these retreat events, right? We've had 183 founders participate so far. And the vast majority of people who come into Inception are via referrals. Like 88% are referrals from other founders who have been through the program. That's what allows us to keep the quality bar so high, because people who come, like the NPS, the Net Promoter Score of people who've been through the program, it's like 85. So that means that 85% of the people who come through Inception are not only enjoy the program, but they become evangelists. They tell all of their friends and everyone else that they know that how great Inception is, and that's how we grow. We've had 36 companies that have not only formed but have raised substantial amounts of money from VCs, and a total of 125 million so far just in seed funding, and still counting. So and the type of people we can attract are amazing. We typically get a lot of more senior people. There's an average across all of the founders of about 14 years of professional experience. So these are typically people in their 30s to 40s that are starting companies. Many of them are repeat founders, serial entrepreneurs. Almost 80%, 77% of these founders have started at least one company in the past. And 29% of them actually have a successful exit in the past, either an IPO or an acquisition, right? And a big believer in diversity. So far, 25% women founders. We still, continue to work to get that higher. So these, you may recognize some of these logos. These are some companies that actually came out of Inception they started at Inception, and so you may recognize some of these logos. And and not only do Inception companies form and do well. But they end up raising a lot of money from top VCs. So this is a set of VCs that have invested in Inception companies. Not only come to our demo days, but actually came to a demo day and invested in the company, right? And so we have an amazing track record so far in helping founders to raise from top tier VCs in Silicon Valley, and that's part of the reason that we're here. Is that we want to open this up to yes, we have great founders from the U.S. and but as well we want to expose. There's also some great founders here that you'll see on the stage that are from Japan, and so now they'll get an opportunity to present not only to all of you, but also to the investors that are on the live stream as well. Yes, so I'm super happy to introduce to you, our first first Japan cohort, like from Inception Studio. This is the cohort 15. You really can't see it, but there's like Mount Fuji is like right back there. You can see, yeah. Trust us. Yeah, I think we have to use Gen AI to make this a little bit better. Yeah, but no, we just took this photo a few days ago, right when we arrived at the venue. Right. Anyway, so without any further delay, let's move on to the pitches.